Welcome back to Creation, where we're trying to match God with his perfect world. Now, God, I've brought you here to the great expanse of nothingness. And I think it ticks all your boxes, but what do you make of it?
Yes, it certainly is a good space, lovely size, a bit formless and empty though. I reckon it could benefit from a bit of natural light, so let there be light!
Oh. Oh, that's good.
You're right, it is good.
Horrible Histories.
Welcome to Horrible Histories, Barbaric Bible. Sometimes people can think that just because the Bible's quite long, that it must be boring. But in actual fact, it's filled with all sorts of crazy stuff.
Are you looking for a new book to read?
Yeah.
Is Biff and Chip not doing it for you anymore?
No.
Then try the Bible.
Boring.
You mean you don't like books with talking donkeys, people getting impaled on poles, a man killing a lion with his bare hands, eating food cooked over cow poo, dreams that can tell the future, someone who lived to 969 years old, a man being swallowed by a big fish?
Okay, I get it. That does sound quite interesting. Where could I find a book like that?
It's the Bible, you fool.
Ouch.
Name that animal!
Can you name that animal? Adam, God's given you the task of naming all the animals. So far, you've named 17. Very good. There's only 1.2 million more to name.
I'm running out of names. It's gonna take forever.
Well, it's your job. Don't think too hard about it. I'll show you a picture. You say the first name that comes into your head, okay?
Fine. Dog.
Isn't that just God, but the letters the other way around?
Spiny lumpsucker. Yep, that's the spiny lumpsucker. Yeah, that looks like a pink fairy armadillo. Pink fairy armadillo. Goblin shark.
It's true. When God created the world, he asked Adam to name all the animals. God created a perfect world and invited people to help him look after it, to rule over the world as partners with God.
Budget Bible bits!
Then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person.
What are these?
Then the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he placed the man he had made.
Okay, in you go. Oh, cool.
The Lord God made all sorts of trees grow up from the ground, trees that were beautiful and that produced delicious fruit. In the middle of the garden, he placed the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam and Eve ate the fruit. They decided, much like we all do, that they didn't want to be God's partners. They wanted to have full control, to be in charge. But that wasn't good.
Siblings.
I killed my brother.
Creation turns to decreation. Cain kills his brother Abel. Wars break out. It's not the way God designed it to be. But it's also not the end. After these first 4 chapters of the Bible, the rest of the Old Testament, that's the bit before Jesus is born, is all about recreation, God's rescue plan. He raises up leaders to try and bring the people back, but they all mess up. Until the ultimate rescue plan, Jesus, who lives a perfect life, puts other people first, and then defeats death. This term, we'll be looking at some of the weirder bits of the Bible, the parts you might not have heard of because, well, we don't usually tell them to children. We'll hear about some of the terrible things that even people like Moses did, and how in all the weird stuff, the laws, the things that the prophets did, the stories about poo, that God was giving us a taste of the plan to come, a little glimpse of Jesus.